Hello, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dr. John O'Keefe, your breakthrough specialist and host of Celebrity Entrepreneur. You know, this is the show that each showing we're going to try to focus on positive and powerful individuals who are growing in the community, who are building their businesses and created successes even when, with all of the negative information we've all heard lately, they've gone beyond. They've had the courage to create success. You're going to hear about one individual today who we're very excited to have. We have Marlene Bridges, who is the broker owner from Village Real Estate Services in Laguna Hills, and we'll be talking to her today. Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Nice to see you today.
Good to see you, Dr. John.
Thank you so much for coming by. I know how busy you are.
It's fun busy.
Yeah.
It's good busy.
Busy's good. Before we go on, let me tell you a little bit about Marlene. Wonderful background. She said that she actually began her real estate career at the age of 8, working with her parents, building spec houses. And she was able to work through the years in different capacities, such as working for 10 years as an accountant at an Orange County developer, Bill Kruger of Showcase Homes. Over time, she's had a wonderful, successful career as a real estate agent, and now she's the director, owner of her own business. Thanks again for being here, and we're excited about what we're going to hear about. So, Marlene, after successfully working in real estate for 10 years, what made you become a real estate broker and open your own office?
Well, that's a great question, John. I'm very, very excited about the opportunities right now. I saw that there was a need, and I saw that there was opportunity. There's a great need for a place for real estate agents to feel safe, to feel that they can do their jobs, and it's really difficult for a real estate agent to balance all of the tasks that they have. It's kind of like the plate spinner on the old Sullivan show. You get the first plate going, you get the second plate going. By the time you get to the fourth plate, the first plate's starting to fall. So what I wanted to do was create a place where they didn't have to spin all the plates. They would only have a couple of functions to take care of, and then we would pretty much take up the rest for them, take up the slack, so that they could do a really great job and do what they do best, which is usually meeting with clients, working with clients, and helping them through the process of buying or selling homes. And the second thing that I saw was a tremendous opportunity. When you look at some of the great businesses, Xerox, FedEx, Procter & Gamble, they all started either during a recession or a depression.
Right.
And that's the time when you can jump in, you can do a great job, and you can seize market share. So that's the excitement that I have for this business, and that's why crazy, you know, it sounds, why are you starting a business during a recessionary downturn? It was so that we would be poised for this particular moment in time, where we're now hearing the National Association of Realtors saying, we've hit bottom, we're moving up. And we're seeing that in the market today.
There you go. You see, what Marlene's talking about is what we call being a contrarian. Much like Warren Buffett, who said, when a lot of people are getting out of a stock, I'm going in. Kind of like a fireman. When we would run out of the building, they're running in to take care of it. And Marlene has created that ability to understand those markets and grow. And so that's what I hope you'll take away from this process, is having the courage to be proactive and create that in the midst of whatever you're hearing out there in the media that might be negative. Marlene, you know, starting your own business can be a huge Herculean effort. In your opinion, after gone through whatever you've gone through, what's the most important thing that is needed to understand when someone is starting their own business?
Another good question. Well, I think it's most important to understand who you are and who you want to do business with. Understanding your core values is foundational to everything. We actually have our core values printed on our business cards and on our checks. Wow. Every time I sign a check, it reminds me of our 5 core values, which are honesty, integrity, purpose, service, and respect. And those are really important points because it works both ways. When you treat people with respect, when you give them great service, when you treat them honestly, treat them like real human beings, people will keep coming back for more and for more. And it's not just about customers, it's all about my clients in my business as the broker.
Sure.
Are the agents that work in my office. So if the people that I interview all work within my concept of my core values, then they're going to work in the business. And it doesn't feel very, very difficult. You know, it all works. The really cool thing is when you hire people who share your core values, they can make decisions even when you're not there. And that's one of the things you and I have been working on, is letting go. I'm letting go of a lot of the responsibilities, and it's giving me tremendous freedom to grow in other areas and to do other things. The second thing I considered was the culture of the business. What was this business going to look like? And the culture of our business is, I know I'm wearing a suit today, but it's very Tommy Bahama, very beach casual. We even have palm trees painted on the walls in our office, and you walk in and you don't feel like you're in an office at all. People walk in and just go, ah. And since we work with a resort community and a lot of people who are buying second and third homes, it's just a perfect fit for them. They walk in, feel comfortable. They're in flip-flops or sandals most of the time, and shorts. So if they walked into an office where we were all in coats and ties, that wouldn't be very comfortable. People walk into our office and they say, wow, this is really nice. They sit down, we give them a little menu, what would you like to drink? And if it's afternoon, what would you like to drink means something very different. We have a good time in our office. So if you understand what your core values are, you meld that with your culture, it all just falls into place, and it looks pretty easy.
Well, certainly I think you make it look easy. It's a dramatic and different time when you're building a business. And so one of the things that I want you to take away from this is, remember what Marlene said at the beginning of this, core values. Have the courage to walk from a base of your core values, know them and work from it. And that's what we talk about when we talk about the top 20% separating from the others, when you have a value-based process. And Marlene has shown that. Her values move throughout her business, and all of her people follow those same products. So thank you for letting us know that.
Absolutely.
Now, if you were with an entrepreneur, and you are today, what would be the one piece of advice that you'd want them to consider before opening their own business, and if you'd want to share that?
Gosh, there's so many things. Well, again, great question. I'm glad you asked me, Dr. John. If I had to pick just one thing, I think it would probably be to have a clear understanding of who you are and what you're willing to do and who you'll be working with in your business. And it's so important to have that clear understanding as a leader. And I have my copy, my dog-eared copy, The Art of Achievement. Dr. John has written a number of books, and I have them all, except this one, and maybe he'll autograph that one and give it to me today. But early on in the book, The Art of Achievement, he has defined the 10 characteristics of world-class leaders. And I'll go through them real quickly. Passionate desire, drive, self-motivation, persistence, focus, that laser focus, courage to excel. That was one that we had to work on together. I was so surprised when I met with Dr. John. I thought I'd be talking to him about something very different. When I started working with him, I discovered that I was afraid to succeed. I had a fear of success. Most people think they have a fear of failure. I had a fear of success. So courage to excel. Discovering and living on purpose. Living out loud. Really talking about what you want, thinking about what you want, articulating that all the time. It begins to permeate and to seep into your brain. You wake up in the middle of the night, and I make notes on note cards, and then I go right back to sleep with these great ideas. Some of them are great, some of them I think are pizza-induced. But nevertheless, they're fun. Facing your fears, having an entrepreneurial spirit, and then lastly, in my opinion, consistency. Or said another way, congruency. When you understand what your core values are, when you understand what it is that your culture is of your company, you blend those two together and everything else just falls into place. It looks easy, it looks simple, but some of the best ideas are the simplest ideas. And the fun thing is as you start sharing those core values and as you share that culture with the people that you work with, they start bringing ideas to you. And it's so much fun when you have all of these people bringing new ideas into the business and making it grow and making it even better than you could imagine. It's bringing me great joy. Can you tell?
Well, thank you, Marlene. And you know, what she's talking about there is what we found in the world's most successful people. And do you see how each one of those values plays on each other and kind of balances together? Now, if you were to go into, and we hope you do, into Marlene's office, you'd see a group of happy people. And as I understand it, people come by your office just to see what's going on. Is that right?
They do. They drop by from time to time. And it's interesting, we have agents from a company that's just down the street, and they walk in and they say, I wish I worked here. But they can't, because I'm not going to hire them. I'm hiring lots of fun people, though, lots and lots of fun people. I'm looking for people who really want to grow and really do a little soul searching and figure out who they are. There are so many people out there that could be successful, could be so much more successful, if they just kind of open up their minds to the idea of success.
Right.
Instead of just getting by.
That's true.
And it's not all about the money. You know, J. Paul Getty defined success as the number of people that he helped become wealthy.
Wow. What a statement.
Very powerful.
It is powerful. You see, when you understand that passion, and obviously you can feel that passion coming from Marlene for what she does, then you move beyond. You get outside yourself and you actually create that, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. And then that magical thing happens that it begins to come back to you in many ways. And we've seen what's happened with Marlene building her business there. And what a marvelous example you are of those things.
Thank you, John.
You bet. You know, out of all of your travels and all of the exciting things you've done, do you have a story or maybe a client or a situation that kind of comes to mind that's the most important to you or fun that you can share with our viewers?
No, I can't pick out just one. This weekend, I was in the desert with some friends who were clients first. They become friends. And we were looking at investment properties for them. And oddly enough, I had the same deja vu experience that I've had I don't know how many times. We're driving around in the car, and I'm thinking, I'm working, but it doesn't seem like work. I'm playing with my friends. It's an incredible thing. I remember a number of years ago, I was working on my Christmas card list, and my mom said, "You're frowning, what's the matter?" And I said, "You know, it's funny, I have this list of clients and I have this list of friends, and they all seem to be melding together because my clients become friends and my friends become clients. It all works together. It's just play. It's all play."
And that's the exciting thing, because as we've talked about in the show before, time and time again, when you can see someone who has a passion for what they do, it becomes play. And when that happens, that's when it really becomes fun and everything opens up. So I hope that you can focus on that passion that you have for your business. You know, there's one more thing, and I noticed in my notes here that you've got a wonderful designation from CRS as a National Regional VP. Can you tell us about that?
CRS stands for Certified Residential Specialists, and it's a designation through the National Association of Realtors, and the top 4% of realtors in the country actually become CRSs. It's not the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval where you just pay your money and you get your little pin. I'm wearing a pin right now, and I'm very proud to say that I was in 2008, I was CRS of the Year for our local chapter. I served as president for a year for our local chapter, and now I'm serving as a regional vice president alternate, and this is my second year. This next year will be my second year as a regional vice president alternate, and it's really exciting going to national conventions, working with the best of the best. And the really cool thing is when I have clients who need to make a move, when they're selling a home in Nebraska, or recently I had a friend who called me and said, "My mom needs to find a home in Minnesota." I said, "I know just the person," because I meet with all of these great people a couple of times a year, and spend time with them. So I was able to refer her to a friend in Minnesota, and she's just crazy about him. He's a wonderful guy. So you can match personalities rather than just sending them to just another realtor. So thank you for asking about that, John. It's something that's very, very important to me and something I'm very proud of.
Well, and you can be assured when you're dealing with someone, when they have a designation like that, Marlene brings her values to the table. So it's so wonderful to hear that it works out in all ways. So thank you so much for being with us today, Marlene.
John.
And so, what are you going to take away? You've had some wonderful experiences here today and some ideas from someone who's made it happen for themselves. How about you? And so I just want to say thanks again for being with us. Remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're right. This is Dr. John O'Keefe, and you've been watching Celebrity Entrepreneur.